In January 2024, a finance worker at a major multinational firm in Hong Kong joined a video conference call with his CFO, several senior colleagues, and a handful of other staff. He recognized every face. He recognized every voice. Every single person on that call was fake, and he wired $25 million before anyone found out. This film is a case-file investigation into the AI scam economy, the industrialized use of voice clones, deepfake video, and synthetic identity to steal from ordinary people, corporations, and governments. By the end, you will understand exactly how it works, who is behind it, and the one defense that is surprisingly simple but almost nobody uses. Stay with us, because the third case file in this documentary involves a mother who heard her own daughter screaming on the phone, and it was not her daughter at all. Case File 1. Hong Kong. January 2024. The Hong Kong police confirmed the incident in February 2024 and announced 6 arrests connected to a deepfake fraud ring that pulled off what investigators believe to be the largest AI-assisted financial fraud confirmed at that point. The targeted firm was Arup, one of the world's most respected engineering consultancies. The amount stolen, 200 million Hong Kong dollars. 200 million Hong Kong dollars. 25.6 million US dollars. Wired in a single authorized transaction by a single employee who believed every face he saw was real. Arup confirmed the incident publicly. The employee received a phishing message, was invited to a call, and was shown real-time deepfake avatars of colleagues he knew personally. He was told the transaction was sensitive and confidential. He complied. This was not a failure of technology, it was technology winning. The tools used were not classified. Researchers believe the attackers harvested publicly available video footage, LinkedIn clips, earnings calls, conference recordings, and used commercially accessible AI to reanimate those faces in real time. The barrier to entry for this kind of fraud is falling every quarter. But the corporate heist is only the most expensive version of this crime. The most emotionally devastating version targets families, and it has already reached every income level. Case File 2. Arizona. January 2023. Jennifer DiStefano, a mother, picked up her phone to an unknown number. The voice on the line was her 15-year-old daughter, Brianna. Sobbing. Screaming. Saying she had been kidnapped. A man then came on the line demanding $1 million, later negotiated down, in ransom. Jennifer DiStefano told her story to the Senate Judiciary Subcommittee on Privacy, Technology, and the Law, and to media including USA Today and ABC News. She described it as the most terrifying 4 minutes of her life. She was seconds from wiring money when she received a call confirming her daughter was safe at a ski trip. Her daughter's voice had been cloned from social media. Probably from a few minutes of TikTok or Instagram audio, enough for a commercial voice synthesis model to produce a convincing crying, panicking teenage girl. The FBI calls this virtual kidnapping. It is now one of the fastest-growing fraud categories in the United States. The FTC reported that in 2023 alone, Americans lost over $2.7 billion to imposter scams broadly, a category that increasingly includes AI voice fraud. The agency specifically noted the rapid escalation of voice clone reports beginning in late 2022, directly coinciding with the public release of generative voice tools. Here is the chilling engineering reality: 11 Labs, one of the most popular commercial voice synthesis platforms, can clone a voice from as little as 1 minute of audio. In 2023, the platform was briefly used to generate fake audio of public figures, including what appeared to be politicians, and clips spread virally before the company tightened access controls. The tools exist. The guardrails are catching up slowly. And the fraud economy around these tools is now structured, professional, and international. Researchers at Recorded Future and cybersecurity firm Trend Micro have documented dark web marketplaces explicitly selling deepfake as a service, voice packs, face swap rigs, and scripted fraud playbooks, bundled and priced like software subscriptions. Case File 3. The CEO scam goes corporate and gets personal. In documented fraud cases reported by the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center in 2022 and 2023, attackers used AI-synthesized audio of real CEOs and CFOs to authorize emergency wire transfers, targeting not the executives themselves, but their subordinates who trusted the voice. The FBI's 2023 Internet Crime Report recorded business email compromise and its voice-assisted variants as responsible for over $2.9 billion in losses in the United States in that year alone, making it the single highest dollar cybercrime category tracked by the Bureau. One of the early and most widely cited cases, a UK energy firm CEO in 2019, before generative AI went mainstream, received a phone call he believed was from his German parent company's chief executive. The voice was authoritative, accented correctly, and urgently requested a $243,000 wire transfer to a Hungarian supplier. It was a synthesized voice. The money was transferred. It is widely considered the first confirmed corporate AI voice fraud case, reported by the Wall Street Journal and documented by semantic researchers. That was 2019. What existed then was primitive compared to what runs on a consumer laptop today. Wael Abdolmajid, director of the Visual Intelligence and Multimedia Analytics Lab at USC, has testified to Congress that deepfake detection is in a constant arms race and that the generators are currently winning. His lab and others found that even trained human reviewers correctly identify AI-generated faces only slightly better than chance in controlled tests. Which brings us to the terrifying scale question. If this is happening to a multinational engineering firm in Hong Kong, to a mother in Arizona, to a UK energy CEO, how industrialized has this actually become? The answer: it is a functioning economy with supply chains. Researchers at McAfee surveyed 7,054 people across 7 countries in 2023 and found that 25% of adults reported having experienced an AI voice clone scam personally, either themselves or someone they knew. 70% said they were not confident they could tell the difference between a real voice and a cloned one. 36% of people who received a cloned voice money request sent money. That is not a vulnerability in technology. That is a vulnerability in trust, and trust is exactly what AI is being engineered to exploit. Nina Schick, author of Deepfakes and the Infocalypse and one of the earliest researchers to document the political and criminal weaponization of synthetic media, warned in 2020 that the infrastructure for mass synthetic fraud was not a future threat, it was already being built. By 2024, her warnings have become incident reports. The most recent escalation, real-time face swap technology, the same category of tool used in the Hong Kong heist, is now available as a plugin that runs inside standard video conferencing applications. In early 2024, security researchers demonstrated that an attacker could join a Zoom or Teams call with a fully animated, real-time deepfake of any person whose photograph exists online. The demo videos are publicly available. The attack surface is every corporate video call on Earth. So what do you actually do? This is the part most tech documentaries skip. The practical defense is embarrassingly low-tech, and it works. It is called a family-safe word or a verification passphrase. A pre-agreed word or question, known only to your family or your financial team, that must be spoken before any urgent money transfer or emergency request is honored. No passphrase, no action. Period. The FBI, FTC, and AARP all now formally recommend this approach. Corporations are implementing callback verification protocols, where any voice-authorized financial request is terminated and reinitiated through a verified number on file. Not through the number that called you. Jennifer DiStefano now travels the country teaching it in schools. The AI scam economy is not a future threat. It cleared $25 million in a single call. It made a mother believe her daughter was being held at gunpoint. It has built dark web service tiers, franchise fraud playbooks, and real-time face engines that run on commodity hardware. The voice you trust most in the world can now be rented for the cost of a few minutes of audio and a subscription fee. Set the safe word tonight. Tell every person in your family what it is. And the next time your CEO, your parent, or your child calls in a panic asking you to move fast and not tell anyone, pause. Ask the question. Because the most sophisticated AI fraud system in the world cannot answer a word it has never heard. Drop your family's safe word strategy in the comments, or tell us, could you tell the difference between your spouse's real voice and a perfect clone? And if you want to know what happens when AI doesn't just steal your money but steals your face and ruins your reputation, subscribe. Next week's case file: the deepfake revenge economy, and the real people whose lives were destroyed by synthetic media they never agreed to create.